Welcome all, Raymond for Stream Gamers. We're going to do a video here kind of showing the Grand Canyon in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I did a few of these trips around the world whilst we had the Alpha Edition, and this was one of them that I did. I did it mostly for performance, but also for the scenery. As you can see, it's quite spectacular. So the idea of the video is we're going to fly around the top here a little bit, and then we'll work our way down. I'm doing a voiceover on this, as most people know when they watch the videos that I make. I typically don't do voiceovers, but unfortunately my audio got messed up and got a bunch of residual noise in it and stuff like that. And so I'm not going to release it with the live audio. Anyways, so this is what we have. We're flying around here, and I want to kind of go over some of the things. And let me get some of the specs out of the way. I know some people are interested in that, and so we'll get that out of the way. I have a Ryzen 7 5800 X3D, 32 gigs of 3600 megahertz DDR4 memory, and an RTX 4080 graphics card. For those who are wondering why, with my 2K monitor, do I have such a card? It's a stepping stone to getting the next step, and so we got the card first. I am looking for, thinking about a monitor, what I should do. Should I buy a PC monitor, 4K? Should I get a TV, 4K? Anybody have any comments, ideas, suggestions about that? I'm open to that. If you'd put them down in the bottom in the comment section there, that would be fantastic. While you're down there, go ahead and give the like button a click, and the notification bell. It would be wonderful if you did that too. So with that aside, here we are, just flying along, and we're going to be able to see some of the video, some of the scenery and that kind of stuff. In general, I think it's quite spectacular. Much more so than 2020 is, and keep in mind this is all native out of the box, as Microsoft is supplying it to us. Now I will add that the Grand Canyon was one of those places that 2024 has been highlighting and so forth. So my suspicions are they've added a lot of detail to this, maybe more so than the rest of the world. Like it was in 2020, it wasn't spectacular. We all know this of Microsoft. We all know that when we get a product, often there are some bugs that need to be kind of worked through and transitioned through and that kind of stuff. But eventually it gets better and better. And here we are with Microsoft 2020 being quite good. And so I suspect 2024 is going to start us just an elevated step above there, and then eventually get even better than what it is right now. But and I will add one more statement in here about as I talk about performance. I am aware that there isn't as much congestion in 2024, and so you anticipate it to be better and smoother and so forth. In 2020, my sim does stutter and hiccup every now and again. Not often, but it does. This is one of the places that if I was getting hiccups and stutters, this would be the place where I would get it. Coming down into the Grand Canyon. We're going to fly around the upper bowl here, around this area a little bit, just to kind of give you some views from the top part of it, and then slowly we're going to work our way down. We will climb up again briefly. I wanted to point out a couple of spots that I thought was interesting, and I wanted to get a little further up in order to be able to see it. Ultimately, our goal is to fly along the canyon, get down in the water, near the water, and try to find a place to land. You'll have to stay tuned to see whether or not we've actually found a place to put the old girl down, or did we just have to get out of here. So stay to the end, and and you'll see whether or not we actually achieved some kind of a landing down here. Now, I'm saying that because in Microsoft 2024, the ground is interactive, and that's to say that soft ground is soft ground. You can't just put it down somewhere and just land there and it'll be okay. So gone are the days of taking large jetliners and 787s and landing them on grass runways, because you may be able to get it on there, but you may not have enough horsepower to gain enough speed to rotate off again. I had another video that kind of shows that, and so I won't spend too much time. I'll be releasing that one sometime soon, I guess. All right, so let's pay attention to some of the view now. Let me kind of go through some of this as I saw it. So in looking at the view and the detail of the view, it is what struck me looking at these rock faces and stuff like that. In Microsoft 2020, there's been some decent stuff there, and there's been some third-party guys that have made some incredible views, or some incredible scenery, I should say. But I haven't seen something that looks so realistic like this. Now, I've never been to the Grand Canyon, so I can only speculate this looks real. There was a little glitch there. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a little blue line in the rocks there. I didn't see it the first time, but I did see it this time. But in general, the view is in my mind just an absolutely spectacular view. Yeah, it's incredible. The shrubbery and everything else, for anybody who's watching this, if you have been to the Grand Canyon and you've seen this, if you could comment in the section down in the section there below, just comment whether or not that is realistic. Is that something that we that it kind of looks like? Does it look that way? Sometimes I see that greenery and wonder, is that realistic? And look at that! Isn't that just absolutely incredible? I just, for myself personally, I find it amazing. At some point, I would love to be able to come out here with our RV and my wife and I, and just hang out here and see it in real life. Maybe one day we'll accomplish that. In the upper right corner of the screen, you see there's a 40 there. For whatever reason, that's not the actual live frame rate, but that's what it should. That's where the frame rate should be showing. But for whatever reason, it did that. GeForce Experience, welcome to that, I guess. But anyways, I've typically have had zero problems in the stuttering. I flew 2024 Alpha for about 3 days. I probably put, I'm going to speculate, I probably put in those 3 days some 10 hours of flying around the world and all over to different places. Gauge performance, but also to look at scenery natively and that kind of stuff. Performance again. We understand that there's no live traffic here, no other people flying around, which could inject some lag. I also understand that there's not a lot of third-party development, or there is no third-party development scenery in here that could potentially also create some lag for a person. So, let's be mindful of that. Microsoft has given us multi-threading. To what extent, I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's multi-threading across the board. Again, if somebody knows that, put it in a comment section if they have a more detailed view of what that is. The way I understand it is that there's certain functions that are allowed to operate on another thread. But it's not the entirety of it that can just automatically switch over from one thread to the next. That's the way I understand it. I could be wrong about that, but that is the way I understand it. So yeah, we are starting to climb up again. There's that light-colored rock face directly in front of me, and there was something out there that I kind of wanted to have a better look at and show you guys a better look at. But this is the type of scenery that is, in my mind, second to none. I enjoy flying. I'm an avid simming guy. I've been doing it for a long time. Early days of Microsoft Flight Simulator back in the days, not version 1. I don't go quite that far back, but I've been flying for quite some time. And it's getting better and better and better as we go. This, like other sims that have been before this, or other versions that have been before this, there's going to be some hiccups. There's going to be some bugs. We're going to have to deal with some of the frustration. I heard it in 2020 with a lot of my friends, myself included. Oh, this doesn't work, and oh, that doesn't work, and some of it is because we don't know how it works. Some of it is because it actually just doesn't work, But it will get better. There's no question about it. You look at what Microsoft 2020 is today, and you compare that to what it was when it first came out. It's leaps and bounds better. It's just, to me, it's just leaps and bounds better than what it was when it first released. There was I get nowhere near the amount of crash to desktops. In fact, it's rare that I get a crash to desktop now. So we're going to start working our way down. I did spend a fair bit of time at this upper level because, quite honestly, I was just amazed with the rock faces and what I perceive as the realism of those rock faces. But we're going to start working our way down. If you were planning to do this, and I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video, but be aware that if you're planning to do this, we are at some 4,000 or 5,000 feet of elevation, and if you're flying a Cessna 172, 152, if you're flying like a piston engine aircraft, be mindful of your mixture. You're going to need to lean that thing out in order to get some reasonable horsepower. Just a little tidbit about flying for those people that are doing this and don't understand this stuff. The higher you go, the thinner the air is. And if you put the same amount of fuel into that thin air, it effectively floods and it doesn't produce power. So you have to lean it out. And vice versa. As you're starting to come down and the air starts to become more dense, you need to put more fuel in there, because if you don't, it'll lean out and the engine will run, and it will run hot. I mean, that's what I mean to say. In 2024, we're going to start dealing with engine wear and aircraft wearing and stuff like that. So gone will be the days where you'll just fly and just mash the throttle forward and it'll do what it does, right? That's not going to be there anymore. So just be aware of that's going to happen. So that's why I bring that whole concept of how to lean the engine out and so forth. I usually start leaning the engine out somewhere around 3,500, and then slowly pull back at the higher you go. So just be aware of that. You can also hear the pitch of the aircraft, or the engine aircraft. You can hear it as you're pulling the lean back. You can hear it build up and get more RPM. Right, enough of that. Here we are, getting lower down to the canyon floor. I mean, what else can a person say about the quality of that? It's just spectacular. It's just incredible, is what it is. I think at this point I was starting to look for a place where I might touch down, and I did see a couple of places here, like for example here, but of course I was on the wrong side and going too quick. But I did see a few places where I thought I could put the aircraft down along this little stretch here, but I wasn't prepared and set up for it. Later on, as we get a little further along, I start looking maybe a little more, not desperately, but a little more for this particular spot that I want to try to put it down on. And there's going to be, you're going to see shortly whether I'm actually able to put it down. I think just around the next corner, I mean, look at that water. And one thing I want to talk about briefly is as good as the scenery is, and great on Microsoft, you guys, Asobo, you guys all have done an amazing job. But the edges of that rock coming down into the water, it looks kind of washed out. It doesn't look realistic. Now, I mean, I'm nitpicking that a little bit because the rest of it is just incredible. But that is something that I hope at some point they're able to kind of figure out. You know, maybe do a better job of that down the road. Yeah, I was just right on the edge of that water right there. But you know, if they're able to produce this type of scenery here, my suspicions are they can, you know, produce this type of scenery other places as well. Now, I don't know, did they come here and, you know, take some actual scenery shots to help them produce this, or is it still through AI and all of whatever they did previously? I'm not sure. Where are we in the timeline? We're getting there. Yeah, I'm just sitting here rewatching it, and just reliving kind of the whole idea of, you know, how good this stuff looks. You know, I have several friends that have machines or computers that are older, slower than mine, and mine is far from, you know, the best machine out there in the world, but it's certainly not the worst either, and it works well for me. But I have a few friends of mine who fly 2020 now, and they're worried about coming into 2024. Will their machines actually be able to fly it? And if you look at the specs of the minimum recommended and you know, the best of the best performance that Microsoft suggests, the requirements are still fairly low, and I think the multi-threading has probably helped with that a great deal. But I believe people, you know, I released a video about this performance earlier, but I'm going to say it again. If you're contemplating on getting a new machine because you don't think your machine will run it, I recommend buying the sim and installing it and checking it out for yourself. Now, if your plan all along is to do it regardless, well, then so be it. You know, let's not worry about that. Yeah. And while we're just soaking up the scenery, I'm going to say again, I would greatly appreciate a like, a comment, a subscription. So many people watch my videos but don't subscribe. I think that's commonplace, but subscriptions are important. It helps to get my video out to more and more people, and that's my goal, is to get my videos and my content out to more and more people. I'm hopeful to grow the channel. That's what I'm attempting to try to do. So I would appreciate the like, the comment, you know, the subscription and all that, notification bell business and all that would be fantastic. I think at this point, I think I'm very seriously trying to find previously back there, I don't know if I was really, okay, where am I going to put this thing down? I was looking for something that if it did come up, I would attempt it. But I think my video, I was looking at the time of the video thinking to myself, it's getting a little long, so maybe we need to find a place to put this thing down on the ground and finish the video off. I must be just skimming the water here. I should have done an outside look, but I have a feeling I was just skimming the water. I did another video where I did just that. I had the wheels. I wish I'd have taken a copy of that, where the wheels were just skimming along the edge, the top edge of the water, and there was water spray and stuff like that. It was quite spectacular. Yeah, see, the rock faces the edge there. right at the edge of the water still looks a little goofy. But again, let's not nitpick too terribly much because the rest of it is quite incredible. If anybody has any other videos that you want to see or that you're curious about or interested about, please make that in the comment section as well. I have probably some 10 hours or so of recorded video, various different places, various different things, and so if you're interested in seeing that, so because I realize not everybody was able to do the alpha. So I have a lot of content. I guess we're going to see very shortly whether or not I was able to put it down here in the canyon somewheres. I think it's pretty close to where I was attempting to do that. Yeah, see, that would have been a good spot. Right here would have been a good spot had I been prepared for it. Slowed down. There we go. I think we're gonna try to put it down here shortly. Right there, I did. Yeah. And then that happened. And then that happened. Yeah. And then that happened. And so what are you gonna do? That's what happens. Anyways, Raymond, Stream Gamers, appreciate your time. Have yourselves a wonderful day, evening. Be kind, have fun, enjoy, and all of the alike. Until the next one. Bye-bye now.